We stuck together, and we believed that we could actually do it.
Horry for three! Would you would have believed when we went into Salt Lake City that we could do this again?
That run was so special. We had to overcome so many obstacles. That made that ring more special than any ring.
There he is, Robert Horry, in the new documentary. That was a clip from the NBA TV documentary Clutch City. The story of the 94-95 Houston Rockets. One of the stars from that team was seven-time NBA champion Robert Horry. He joins us here. Big shot, Bob. Good to see you, sir.
Man, thanks for having me, man.
So the only seven-time champion other than a member of the Boston Celtics.
Correct. Only one that wasn't on that Celtic team, and I'm very proud of my accomplishments, and I had a bunch of great teammates, and to win 7 championships in this era, it was pretty amazing.
Before we talk about some more of those victories, and the first two specifically, because that's what the documentary is about, I want to talk about the NBA Finals so far. We're tied up 1-1. What do you make of the series right now?
You know, it's going to be one of those series that go back and forth. It's a chess match. You know, everybody likes to say that and compare, because you look at the teams. You have a former MVP in LeBron James, a current MVP in Steph Curry. You know, how are these guys going to play? Everybody know what LeBron going to do. You know, he showed that going a triple-double in the last game, and Steph Curry didn't have a good game. So now what you have to fear is Steph Curry coming out angry, being upset, and coming out and shooting the thing like he's been doing in the first couple of series, and shooting with over 40% from three, which is ridiculous. But it's going to be a tough series, and I hope it goes 7 games, because it's great basketball.
Kyrie Irving is out. Kevin Love is out. Right. Anderson's out, but they have DELLAVEDOVA, who's been defending Curry a bit and others, and basically just causing mayhem. You say his tactics, though, wouldn't have worked a few years ago. Why?
You know, the thing about DELLAVEDOVA, he's one of those scrappy guys, and when you have a scrappy guy like that likes to get into your guards, you need what we used to call an enforcer. You said you bring him off a screen and bring him my way, and you put that, you nail him with a hard pick and say, hey, stop trying to, you know, hit my guy as hard as you hit him, trying to get him off his rocker. And so, you know, it's a little tit for tat, but they don't do that in the NBA anymore. It's more of a finesse game. But some of us old school guys miss the tactics like that just to play good, hard basketball.
The documentary is called Clutch City, and we talked to one of the great clutch players of all time, not just in basketball, but all sports. What was it that came together on those Houston Rockets teams in 93, 94, and 94, 95 that led them to back-to-back championships?
The fact that we had Akeem Olajuwon, you know, the dream was fantastic defensively. You know, he was Defensive Player of the Year 1 year. He was MVP 1 year. And the thing is, when you have a team that has an anchor like Dream, you can funnel everybody towards him defensively. You can get up in your guys, contest shots, force them to the paint. And Dream was always there to block the shots. And that back line of defense, when you have that, it's really easy to play aggressive defense. And it's hard now, you know, to find guys that are as capable of blocking shots and altering shots as Dream did.
A well-rounded team, though, other than just Dream. It's Cedric, right?
We had
yourself.
We had a good rounded team. We had a lot of great defensive players. You know, Vernon Maxwell, Kenny Smith, Sam Cassell, Mario Ellie. You know, our guys were really good, and we really had a great chemistry, not just on the court but off the court. We all used to go to dinner. I remember one time we would go to dinner and we would sit down and play, you know, rock, paper, scissors to see who would pay for the dinner, because we just had a good relationship like that. And when you can be friends off the court, you play harder for each other on the court.
Kenny Smith said in the documentary, you all, or a lot of you, had a chip on your shoulder, just like Rudy Tomjanovich. Your coach did. Where did that chip come from?
It's just from being doubted and being, you know, talked about, you know, being called the most overrated player in high school by Dick Vitale, then going on and then getting drafted by Houston Rockets and being booed by the fans because they wanted Harold Miner. It's so many things you use as motivation to push yourself on. And the other thing I had to motivate was I got traded halfway through the season of my second year to Detroit, but that trade fell through because Sean Elliott didn't pass his physical. Now, you just play mad. You just got to go out there and play mad and show people why you deserve to be in the NBA, why you deserve to be on the Houston Rockets, and why you deserve to be a champion. And for me, I just played with a chip on my shoulder, played hard, try to play for myself, not just for the team, but for myself.
How many NBA championships does Harold Miner have?
0.
So you guys all played with a chip on your shoulder in these 2 magical seasons, and you deal with this in the documentary as well. 2 seasons that Michael Jordan didn't play in full during. He missed one of the seasons when he went to play baseball, then came back halfway through the other season, and the Bulls were never sort of the same. This is dealt with in the documentary because that's one of the big questions in all of sports all time is how would the Bulls have done against the Rockets if they played in the finals those years?
Yes, you know, people always say, oh, it was an asterisk by those seasons. Like, BS, you know, it ain't our fault he decided to go try another sport. And he did come back in that second season, but, you know, Orlando just had more energy and more youth and swept him. And that's why the Bulls had to go out and get Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc, and all these guys that make their team better because they knew they weren't going to go anywhere without adding pieces. And for us, we were a great team. We were a great defensive team. We played well together. And the trade we made in the 95 to get Clyde was exceptional because we started something. We started a trend. It's called small ball. And it moved me to power forward and was able to stretch the defense, you know, cause a little havoc. You know, once everybody saw that, now it became a trend in the NBA to have a stretch forward, you know, so we can look back and say we were pioneers in this game.
If Michael had never walked away in that 93-94 season and you had met them in the finals, do you think you would have won?
We would beat them, you know, just for one reason. Vernon Maxwell was one of the toughest defenders of Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan has been on record saying this. And Vernon, you know, he was going to talk trash. He was going to get in Jordan's head, and Jordan was trying to get in his head. And in the end, it was probably going to be like Jordan might have scored 36, but Vernon was going to have like 28 or 29 right there with him. And then everybody else would have probably, you know, balanced each other out. But the one key factor is that they had no answer for Dream. And Phil Jackson, playing for him and knowing him the way I do, is so arrogant that he would have never double-teamed Dream because his philosophy is one man can't beat us, and Dream would have just destroyed him.
Talk about the clutch play, and you've made some of the great shots in NBA history. What is it about the makeup of someone that allows them to hit those shots at that moment? No
fear. You have to have no fear, and you got to realize it's just a game. It's just a game. There's nothing detrimental on the line. It's just playing basketball, and you got to go out there and take that shot. A lot of guys worry about the outcome. You can't worry about the outcome. It's going to be two outcomes. You miss or you make. And you can't really fear that because at the end of the day, we all miss shots. And at the end of the day, we all make shots. You just got to have the ability to believe in yourself and the confidence to go out there and take the big shot.
You just had complete and utter confidence. That you would make it every time you took a shot, no matter when it was.
Every time I took a shot, I thought I was going to make it. Might not win it all the time, but I believe myself. You know, that's the thing about most players. You look at them, they have a, you know, people call it cockiness, but it's an air. You got to be that way. You have to believe in yourself. You have to pursue that out there. So if you don't put that out there, your teammates going to look at you like, oh, I'm not giving the ball because he's afraid. You know, I know a couple of players that always talked about, okay, down the stretch, I want the ball, but you can see in their eyes that they don't want the ball. They really don't want the ball. And for me, I always wanted the ball because I love winning games, and I'm always going to go. If we down 2, I'm going to go for a 3 because I want to be that guy to win the game.
I love it. Big shot, Bob, 7-time NBA champion. The documentary is called Clutch City. It premieres tonight at 9 p.m. on NBA TV. Good to see you, sir.
Thanks for having me, man. All right.